What you need in your relationships completely changes and transforms when you heal. You become a different person. What you previously looked for was based in a foundation of survival. Maybe you were looking for validation and approval. Maybe you didn't see your own intrinsic self worth. Maybe you learned to tie your self worth to people or to things. And that's the way that you previously held your relationships. You held them for validation and for approval. You held them to get self worth from other people. But now you're looking at it from a totally different perspective because you're seeing, wait a second, I'm already worthy. My childhood fucked me up and made me believe that I had to chase a bunch of things out there in order to be worthy and people and like tie my worth to people. But now I'm realizing that my self worth is actually intrinsic. It's not based on anything or anyone out there. Quite honestly, actually, and in fact, there is no authority above me. I determine myself. That is the level of autonomy that is possible. The wildest thing is seeing it for what it is when a person was raised in survival, traumatized by an array of different things from their parents or their primary caretakers, holding relationships like that, but then also awakening from everything and simply just seeing your worth as intrinsic for what it inherently is. Just because you learned to tie your worth to things out there doesn't mean that that's the way that it's just meant to be and you're meant to live this life of severe ups and downs, chasing things and people and relationships that leave you fucking drained and exhausted. I will completely pass on that. So when you actually do the work and when you do heal and when you do take the time to see yourself for who you are underneath everything that you've been taught to believe about yourself, all of the bullshit ideas that don't actually apply, you might start to see things in a way that you didn't previously see them. In survival, you seek relationships for what I would argue to be a majority of unhealthy reasons. It's not healthy, and it actually is fucked up to seek external validation and tie your worth to people because you're worthy despite them. You're worthy despite whatever they might think about you. You chasing their validation and approval is the unhealthy direction. That is the fucked upness. Maybe your relationships consisted of you being an external regulator for people's emotions to caretake them. Maybe that's been the dynamic. But now you're realizing, wait a second, I'm not responsible for other people's emotions. Because now you're setting healthy boundaries and you're seeing it for what it is. You're recognizing the entire dynamic. I don't like emotionally caretaking people. I need to put myself first. I'm actually exhausting myself and draining myself by not having these healthy boundaries in place and by not doing what I need to for myself first. What it is that you look for in relationships changes when you heal. Because the scarring, the I meant scathing. The scathing, the marring, that those slashes in the ego state, they create these specific crevices for unhealthy dynamics in relationships. Think of it like this: a fucked up ego state by trauma is kind of like a puzzle piece for other puzzle pieces that are unhealthy. As long as you remain unhealed and do nothing with your trauma, you will continue to live life according to the very first model that was presented to you in childhood, the model of masochism, the model of fucked upness, the model of sadism. And seeing everything for what it is really the ticket out. That's how you understand what everything means. You're not going to seek the same thing in relationships if you heal the parts of you that were shattered, the parts of you that were fucked up, the parts of you that were twisted, the red flags that you learned to try to turn even redder because you were fucking bored. Isn't that a wild thing? Sometimes people that are fucked up from trauma, they get bored and they do things that are unhealthy because they're fucking bored. They're just bored. So they seek the masochism, they seek the sadism, rather than doing the work to actually understand, oh, wait a second, I never deserved to be hurt. I never deserved to learn these dynamics of masochism. I never deserved to be learned. I never deserved to learn to be treated like shit and believe that I deserve to be treated that way. When you heal, you do not seek the same things in relationships. Interestingly enough, talking about boundaries, when you heal, you might actually take a lot of time to yourself, not only to completely fucking detox from all of the toxicity that you experienced throughout decades of your life, from everything you experienced early on and what you attracted based on that, but you might realize, oh wow, I don't even know who the fuck I am. I was raised this way in this traumatic environment, and I didn't really get to develop a healthy ego state with healthy boundaries, individuation, and differentiation. So, one of your biggest priorities might actually be to take more time and space to yourself. That's a boundary right there. You get to choose how much time that you spend to yourself. Now, I wouldn't say that you'd want to isolate yourself away from the world completely. But what I would say is that if you did not get healthy ego state development, by the way, just so I explain this real quick, in Freudian psychology and psychoanalytic theory, it is the id, the ego, and the superego. A lot of people did not get healthy ego state development. The id came first, then the ego started to develop, and then over time the superego came along. A lot of people did not get healthy ego state development. When you get unhealthy ego state development, and you have all of these fractures and these punctures and these twisted shit and all this broken stuff, yeah, you're going to find yourself in relationships with people that are fucked up, that treat you like shit. Because the twistedness, the marring and scathing of your ego state attracts that. It is attracted to that. It's attracted to people that treated you the way that you were treated in childhood, when you were raised by narcissists or whoever the hell it was. No parent is perfect. There are parents that are healthier. But those that had exceedingly traumatizing dynamics in childhood, they will hold very specific relationship dynamics until they heal. Until they even do the work to start healing. Your relationships start to change when you start to heal. It's not a matter of being entirely healed. It's a matter of seeing things differently. It's a matter of sitting with your intuition that was numbed out and silenced and shut down in survival, and being like, oh, I feel something. What I feel matters. I should listen to what I feel because it will take me in a direction that is authentic for me. When your intuition screams no, it's beneficial to listen to it. What you need in relationships changes when you both start to heal and pretty much heal entirely. Because you're not in survival anymore. You wake up and you're like, wow, look at that sun. Look at this place. This is fucking cool. I got me. Healthy boundaries, individuation, differentiation. I'm not responsible for anybody else that is an adult. And understanding that can really transform the entire dynamic. Responsibility is a huge thing here in terms of healing, because healthy boundaries help you understand that you're not responsible for people that you previously thought you were. Those people were probably just emotionally immature, and you were raised by people that were emotionally immature, and you were taught to believe that you are responsible for other people, whether physically financially, emotionally. That's just the reality of it. You see things differently when you heal. You 100% see things differently when you heal. And it's important to understand that your relationships will change when you heal. Whether that be you letting go of people that you realize are not healthy, or you actually sitting down with people and having conversations and communicating how it is that you feel, and them actually showing up for you and meeting you there. Not everybody can meet your needs. Not everybody can meet their own needs at their level of mental and emotional maturity. Anybody that cannot meet their own needs because of their stagnated level of mental and emotional maturity are highly unlikely to be able to meet your needs. That's the reality of it. So, to wrap this up, your relationships change when you both start to heal and heal because you see everything different. If you were raised in survival and you learned a belief that you deserve to be treated poorly in an abusive way, and you learn that that's just the way that relationships are, that's the way that unhealthy relationships are. Let's differentiate this real quick. Healthy relationships entail healthy boundaries, individuation, and differentiation in both individuals. A healthy person is not going to be in any sort of a relationship with an unhealthy person. They're going to see it for what it is, and they're going to be like, wow, that person lacks healthy boundaries. They have not individuated or differentiated. They're mentally and emotionally stagnated in childhood, somewhere between infancy and as like a toddler or something. Not going to associate with that person. Oh, look at this person over here. Holy crap. Either they had a healthy childhood or they did the work to heal their shit and become healthier. Wow, they developed healthy boundaries. Wow, they are individuated. Holy shit, they are differentiated. They are a good example, a healthy example of an autonomous individual that has done the work on themselves. And by the way, everyone has work to do on themselves, even people that had healthier childhoods. But the theme of this video is to help you understand that if, because not everyone's going to choose to, if and when you do the work on yourself and heal, your relationships are going to change. You're probably going to cut people out, or you're going to have conversations with people and find that things either work out or they don't. What once looked appealing to you in survival no longer does now that you're healing. All of the gaslighting, all of the validating abuse, all of the tolerating and allowing abuse, that was normalized back then. That is not healthy. It's not healthy. So, whatever you've been led to believe, oh, that's just the way that relationships are, get used to it. That's the way that unhealthy relationships are. Understand that. It's not normal. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. It's not healthy. Never has been, never will be. No matter how much people try to gaslight you, it's not fucking normal. It's not fucking healthy. You deserve healthy. Put the work in to become healthier yourself, and you will start to see dynamics transform in your mind and be like, oh, wait a second, that is not healthy. I deserve to be treated with respect, with kindness, with fairness. I deserve to have my needs met by people that can actually meet them. And the people that can't meet your needs, they don't have to. Nobody has to really like meet your needs. But it's fascinating how much people that are incapable in relationships are incapable to themselves. Everything, this is the last thing I'll say, everything that you experience, or at least a majority, in my opinion, based on everything that I've learned and what I've experienced, The majority of what you experience in relationships with other people has so much more to do with them than it does to do with you. If you just listen to somebody else, you'll understand how they feel about themselves. If they're abusive to you, they're not happy with themselves. You can do better.